continued movement towards supporting local, which is great. But people, if they follow you, they're on your journey, they love what you do, then, they're more likely to put their kind of, support to you.
Yeah. Teresa says, yikes, I'm rubbish at writing about me. And then Liberty said afterwards, do you think LinkedIn would be a relevant tool for a business like mine? And I think the answer to both of those things is the same, in that it's not necessarily you writing about yourself. It's about writing about the things that you're passionate about, and using LinkedIn as a platform to become a thought leader for things that are important to you. So for Liberty, I think absolutely. I think for Liberty's teams, I understand that there's still, people that don't necessarily understand the concept of the steaming. But I think it is still it's a real business. It's a real thing that has impact on women's lives. And I don't think that should be diminished just because it's a different type of business than what you might think you would be used to seeing on LinkedIn, because the LinkedIn universe is massive. It's much bigger than the Instagram universe and the all the other social media platforms. It's far bigger than all of those in terms of people. So you will find people on that platform that are relevant to what it is that you're looking for. And I think the same goes for Teresa, in terms of, it's not about you writing about yourself, it's about writing the things that you're really passionate about. Sustainability, design, all of those things that might be important to you, write about those. You don't need to write about yourself. And LinkedIn has 3 functions as well, so you can upload videos as well. So if you feel more comfortable doing little kind of videos, where Teresa, you might be doing a short video on some of the things that you're creating, use that function more than the written function if that's what makes you feel comfortable. And videos can be used across multiple channels as well. So yeah. Tash, anything to add?
No, just yeah, I mean, always, whether it's like for Liberty, talking about more general health and wellness topics that obviously relate in, there's always kind of, it's that, and you get people bought into like the kind of, like, it's the same thing about, what's the kind of problem or concern, and then obviously then you can relate in your solution. But obviously if you get people talking, or you share knowledge about topics, be it even infertility or polycystic ovaries, then then you can tie in kind of things like that. So, but no, definitely give LinkedIn a try, and you don't need to be able to write as well, as Polly said.
Yeah. Sue Man says, how much time would you say we should be spending a day focusing on building our brand, aside from the business itself?
I mean, I think, it depends, we all have different commitments, I know, you've got a family. It really is, you have to be realistic and work out kind of, what you can allocate, even if it's a case of, like, for example, I've kind of worked out, obviously, I commit to doing 2 LinkedIn articles a week. That's quite a lot. You could even just, generally we're saying like 2 articles a month or something, it still kind of helps. If you've got, obviously, if you want to have a go at doing your own kind of profiling, even I think anything you can spare every month is valuable. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I have to spend an hour a day or 2 hours a day. It could be, okay, I allocate 1 day a month, and that's spread over the month. But just maybe what I always say, I love a plan. I'm a bit OCD. I would like, write down your deliverables. What are you going to do that month? Okay, so I'm going to commit to writing, say, 2 LinkedIn articles. I'm going to try and get 1, approach media and see if I can get 1 article written. On my social media, I'll do X number of posts that are more kind of human and about me. So I think just write down what your deliverables are, and then commit to them, and then, juggle them in across the month. So
yeah. We've had a couple of questions about how we got started in PR. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, well, my story is a little bit kind of, well, they all say these days we have like 5 careers in our lifetime. So I probably, definitely, being like 96, as Polly tells me all the time. I'm
pretty old.
Yeah. Thanks, Polly. But I have good skincare, so I probably look about.
It's true.
My background was, I actually started off as an academic. My background's in psychology, and I actually worked in research in addiction, the irony being in shopping addiction also. So I had a super different background. And then one day I was literally had that epiphany moment where I sat in my office in my university, and I was like, I'm going to be sitting here in 20 years time in the same clothes, probably doing the same thing. And I just had that total epiphany moment that this was not what I wanted to do in my life. And then I kind of quit my amazing academic career. And then I joined one of the big agency groups on a grad scheme. And kind of from there, obviously, I kind of started off in media planning and buying. And then I moved into, I tried different areas of marketing. And then I moved into, sort of more general marcoms. I did a lot of corporate comms at Havas. So I've always kind of worked kind of big agency, big brand, but obviously my degree wasn't in PR and comms, it was in psychology, but although I do believe there's a lot of psychology in what we do. And then I've just kind of and then obviously I moved over here 10 years ago to work for Abu Dhabi Media, the government, and then 8 years ago I started TishTash. So my journey's been a little kind of strange, but I think it all really complements each other.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people that work in PR don't come to PR. I mean, there are some long time lifers in PR, but for example, I didn't really do proper PR until I started working at TishTash. I worked with Procter and Gamble for a long time. I worked with big companies kind of globally. I was in Singapore before I was here, and traveled the world a bit. I used to live in Japan. So I think, I brought a lot of experience in terms of understanding big brands and what they need. And even now, I don't really do pure PR compared to most people in our agency. My role is slightly different, but I think it's amazing how transferable, and I think really important in these times to have confidence that there are a lot of transferable skills out there. And once you figure out all the different places that you can go with the career that you've had in the past and the career you can have in the future, there are a lot of different options. And I think both of us are good examples of that, because neither of us started our careers here in this area. So
I think the same applies to our team. Lots of her on the on here today. We look at kind of Laura. She started off like in like I mean, she had a background. She was crew, and then she was in talent management, and and then she's a complete PR wizard now after years of this. So I think everyone's kind of in our agency as well has got a really nice story about how they actually got here, and very few kind of started out or meant to end up in PR.
Yeah. Basically, you can do anything you want in the world. I think we don't have any more questions, and our time is officially up, even though I know you and I could just keep talking all day. But does anyone have anything else quickly they want to ask? Otherwise, we will say our goodbyes, I guess. Just to say to everybody on this, thank you so much for joining the session so far. Tash and I have been really amazed by the kind of response that we're getting to all of these sessions, and the sessions really are kind of Tash's kind of brainchild of kind of, we can't just sit around and let things happen. We have to be proactive and do what we can to survive. And I think as a PR agency, we are extremely vulnerable because marketing and PR services are kind of the first to go when big agencies and big companies start downsizing. So I think we've created these sessions to help people, and also to help ourselves in terms of hoping that you can spread the word of TishTash and what we do as an agency. But we are so grateful for everybody's support, and we probably will end up having to extend these sessions because we've had so much good feedback. So we might extend them throughout the whole of May. So we'll see. But yes, just to say thank you to everyone.
No, we are really, really grateful. We kind of think, Polly and I, we always appreciate, we get such good support from everybody, and so we never take that for granted, so thank you very much. We do have just a little kind of like question that's just come in, Polly, from Jenny. Asked, do you know anyone that does interiors PR? And I mean, we actually do have a lot of experience in interiors as well, because we kind of believe that happy home, happy, in terms of wellness, it's really important. I mean, you'll see me, I'm always decorating and upcycling and things like that. But no, if you do want to chat to us about interiors PR, you can do. Otherwise, we can make some other recommendations as well. So you've got a few options to select from. So drop us a line at Natasha at tishtash.com or Polly at tishtash.com. And thank you for enjoying my diaries also, Jenny. That also started as a little bit of
everyone loves your diaries.
Oh no, but I didn't start it as like a profiling thing. I actually generally started it to try and keep sane, because I actually am that person. I like writing. For me, this is my just so you know, I mean, those who read my diary, like, I'm not very comfortable live. This is like, to me, like horrendous. But this is my new, I had my birthday, I turned a little bit older, and I decided that, this was my one goal for the year, that I would speak live. And I've done it like 3 times this week. So I'm feeling quite proud of myself. But no, writing for me is what I'm comfortable with. And so thank you for reading my diaries. I literally am overwhelmed. It's a full-time job replying to everyone's messages every day, but I'm really, really grateful for that too. I am thinking about, whether I do continue them afterwards. I feel like people are petitioning that I do. So maybe, we'll have the new normal diaries or something like that.
We can just collate it all, and it can be the book that you've been promising everyone for years.
Exactly. I mean, I have got like 8 chapters of my book written, but like maybe this is the book that I am meant
Maybe this
to
is the book.
Exactly. So I mean, later on I am actually hosting a session with Hayley, who is a good friend of mine, who's just had her first book published in the UK with HarperCollins. And so, if anyone else wants to write a book and obviously listen to my woes in trying to write a book, you can tune in later to that one too. That's a really, really cool session coming up.
That's at 4 o'clock, I think, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, basically that's just me having another natter with another good friend about writing a book. So, if you just want a bit more of a chit chat with Tash, then come along to that one.
Just quickly, we've asked a question, quick one. Can you recommend anyone to help me with e-commerce PR for kids and mums? I mean, you don't really need anyone but us for that one. So I don't know if anyone knows, TishTash is the main kind of umbrella brand, but we also have TishTash Tots, which sits under that, which is very much aimed at kids and family brands. So Simone, please do drop us a line. I really think that we could help with that. We're very, very good, even though I do say so myself, at PR for mum and kid brands. So drop us an email and we can see how we can help. And if we're not the right fit, we'll always pass you on to somebody else. But I do think that we could definitely support you there.
Have lots of e-commerce experience as well. And the good thing right now is that because print is on hold, there's so many more digital opportunities like PR wise, which really, really help you obviously SEO and profile. So now is actually, the amount of coverage we're getting for clients online is really huge. So definitely now is actually a really, really good time.
Yeah, and you're being told here that you must start doing some public speaking sessions as well. So, I mean, that works for me because then I don't have to do them all the time. So
one step at a time, guys. So yeah.
One step at a time. But thank you very much, guys. We have to go because we've got another session starting soon. But it was really lovely talking to you all. And please do keep supporting and joining the sessions as much as you can. Thanks, guys. Lots of love. Bye.